Hey folks, how you doing? How you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show right here on the American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Lots of things going on, and it seems like the state-run media is now, well, doing their journalistic best at identifying certain things that, well, let's just say, are way too liberal, okay? You know, I know liberals, and I I hear what they say. I understand what it is they're talking about. I know from from one side or the other what they're talking about. Okay? I know it. We've discussed this many, many times. I've looked into their ideologies. I've researched what they do. I understand where they're coming from. I understand their concepts on things. But here's the thing. Look at what they want. Look at what they want. I mean, get down to the core of what they want. Now, again, I understand what they want. I know what they want. They seem to think, and it just might be me, I don't know, but they seem to think that the only rights that should be available and protected by the Constitution are theirs, and no one else matters. Like I said, I've broken bread with these people, okay? I've sat down and had lunch with these folks, all right? And I got to tell you, and I make no bones about this, the ones that are so fervent with their vehement dislike of anybody else, such as me, or anybody that's a patriot, anybody that wants the Constitution, anybody that wants a free and sovereign society, they are the stupidest people on the face of this planet. And I just cannot fathom the idea of anyone accepting anything that they say. Now, of course, you'll get you'll get this excuse. You'll get this excuse not only from them, but from others who listen to them. Well, they have a right to their opinion. Well, I'm not arguing that point. I'm arguing their ideologies and their concepts of freedom, which they apparently only want for themselves. Screw everybody else. Oh, and by the way, did you know that the majority of liberals are Democrats? And did you know that the vast majority of Democrats created and funded the Ku Klux Klan? So you tell me where their ideologies are coming from, all right? I mean, think about it. So I'm going to go to break. I'll come back. Don't go away. There's more to come right here on the American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the web address. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. That's American Liberty Radio at USA.com is the email address. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, or even if you disagree with me, the burden of proof is on you. So, hey, I'd like to hear from you. I'll be back right after this. Don't go away. There's more to come. Your home for all the independent music hits from around the world. Information about books and movies from independent authors and filmmakers. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Listen to Tom Slick on The Morning Brew, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. The only service of this kind, offering you fast and easy access to the very best talent from around the world. Creating your own audio doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming. Music Radio Creative is your source for all of your audio and production needs. That's Music Radio Creative. MusicRadioCreative.com. This is Wayne S. Pierce. Come join me on American Liberty Radio Live, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Hey folks, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here for the 6th of July. Hope you guys had a great Independence Day celebration last weekend, because I think that might be the last one we'll ever have, according to Obama. But I doubt it, because I know, excuse me, had to get some coffee. I know there are patriots out there who, well, let's just say, you guys rock, man. You guys stepped up to the plate. You guys make it happen. And with all the, with all the bull crap that's been portrayed about the patriots in this country from the state-run media, it's a ray of sunshine that just keeps on shining, because you guys stand up and take the reins and do what you got to do. So I thank you for that. And my ultimate point on that is bring the troops home. Bring our men and women in the military home. Put them in the United States. Put them all around the borders, and tell every other country, you ain't getting in here. There's 3 things we need to do, and I'm going to change gears here and go in this direction. There's 3 things we need to do. One of them is to get out of the UN. Just get out of the UN. We don't need to be in the United Nations at all, period. End of sentence, done. That's number 1. Number 2, we need to tell the corporations that fund and operate Washington, D.C., we've had enough of you. Now, how are you going to do that? Repeal the Act of 1871. That's going to take an act of Congress, and they're all corrupt. So how do you do that? You go in with the Provost Marshal of the United States of America. You take a battalion of military. I don't know what a battalion is. What is that, 1,000 people? I don't know. You take enough people to Washington, D.C. in military uniform behind the Provost Marshal of the United States of America. You walk in there and you arrest each and every single one of them people. Well, you're talking about a military coup taking over the country, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm talking about cleaning house. Okay? I'm talking about cleaning house. Then repeal the Act of 1871, giving the country back to the people, not the corporations. And the third thing we do? Close the borders for at least 10 to 15 years. You tell other countries that owe us money or whatever they owe us, you have 6 months to a year to give it back to us. And if you don't, well, we'll chalk it up as a loss. And we won't loan you money. We won't give you crap. You're on your own. And we tell Mexico and any other illegal immigrant, get the hell out. If not, we'll track you down and we'll boot you out ourselves. The ones that are here, let's do what we can. The ones that have visas, that have passports, that have all the stuff that they have to be legally here, let's do something with them and make them a part of if they still want to be a part of this country. It's their choice. They came here, didn't they? So we need to allow them to have that choice. Just say, okay, you chose to be here. Let's see what we can do about making you a citizen, okay? But close the rest of the borders off, north and south, and then go from there. The fourth thing that we can do, which would probably cause a lot of ruckus in the business community, and that is cut off all trade for at least 10 to 15 years and work together here in this country to establish a better way of doing business. Not the old archaic, hey, it's always been done that way, it's never failed us type of situation. Let me be more specific. Okay? Supply and demand. Totally archaic, totally wrong, totally backwards because of the way that it's managed. Yes, managed. If you have more stuff in your inventory and you're trying to get rid of it, but you're still charging the same price for it, you ain't going to get rid of it too soon. You want to roll that product out and move it quickly and have more money behind you to get more product or raw material to make more product? Cut the prices at least 75% across the board. Well, that'll cause manufacturing to go down. And then workers in those factories aren't going to get a living wage. Blah, 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 blah. By the way, I've heard all the arguments. I've heard every side of that argument. And it doesn't fly with me. Not because I didn't want to listen, but there's some compelling arguments out there. I really appreciate the fact that these people took time to think about it. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. Okay? It's like if you have more people doing a job, why is the wages gone down? Look at, let's just say, a manufacturing plant in California compared to a manufacturing plant in Omaha, Nebraska. Okay? All right. I'm just using that as an example. Okay? I don't know if there's any manufacturing plants in Omaha. I mean, come on. But let's just take that as a comparison here for a minute for this example, and that is, if you have a worker in California manufacturing widgets at $15 an hour and you have somebody in Omaha doing the same thing at $10 an hour, somebody's getting gypped here. And if you've got thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people doing the same thing, your wages are going to drop to a, unlivable area. You understand how that works now? Supply and demand doesn't work. Okay? Never has worked, never will work. It's only worked for the benefit and reward and profit of the companies you work for. Okay? As far as human resources, you and I in a plant somewhere or driving a truck or something, never works. We never get rich off the backs of poor people. You know what I'm saying? Somebody once told me that. I said, well, how do these poor people get out of the situations they're in? They have to want to. And it's the same thought. You have to want to be better. And any company that relies on this ideology or this concept or this principle of supply and demand, more employees, less wages, that kind of thing, the example I just gave you, it ain't going to work. Okay? It ain't going to work. But does that mean you cut the employees, you lay off a whole bunch of employees and then pay everybody a living wage? Who's ever left? No. Because your company will soon go out of business if you do that. Okay, I've taken business classes, believe me. It even boggled my mind reading the business books that I had to read, okay? And it was like, I'm like, this is stupid. Why are they doing this? And the other part of all of that drives wages down is exports. Well, we have to, supply the company with... I've been to these so-called business seminars many years ago, believe me. Or don't believe me, go to your own. But I'm just saying, these people blow smoke up your ass thinking that they're, doing you a favor. Okay? By giving you the information that they're giving you to help you along the way. No. 3 things I learned in business school. 1, don't believe anybody. 2, find ways to make things easier and more efficient for yourself. And 3, profit from it. Now, how are you going to profit from it? That doesn't mean make billions of dollars a year. No, what that means is how happy are you in that job? Or how happy are you in the chosen career? Okay? I mean, you have to really think about this stuff. And then translate all that into this liberal speak of what they're trying to blow smoke up your ass with, okay? It's not going to work, folks. The state-run media has identified the flaws in the liberal thinking. And it's not logical. It's illogical. It doesn't work. It never has worked. It never will work. Okay? I'd go to break, or I usually go about to 20 after, but I'm going to go now, okay? Because I'm going to get riled up, and that's all I'm going to be doing for the next 40 minutes if I don't stop myself. But anyway, folks, it's great always to come to you with this show and the American Liberty Radio Live, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, American Liberty Radio Live. It's always great because I want to share with you the information I have, but I hope that I'm encouraging you to go out and investigate this stuff yourself. So in a moment, I'll come back, we'll hit up some news, and then I'll give you my opinion of it, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay. AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the web address. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com is the email address. Folks, I shall return in just a few moments.
The Grand Adventure.
Yeah. From the directorial debut of Brian James Griffo, 2 brothers faced with a rare genetic disease that causes blindness decide to take a journey of a lifetime and answer the question, what would you see if you knew you were going to go blind?
It honestly makes me feel so small, and like whatever problems I have are nothing.
What would you do?
You're supposed to smell it first.
Who would you meet?
This is an opportunity for us to connect with people.
Oh, I haven't seen you for
In a groundbreaking documentary that cuts to the heart of what it means to be a brother.
It blows my mind that 100 years ago, this is how people would have done this trip that we're doing. Yep.
And gain a world of vision while losing eyesight. Come along to be inspired and reminded of the very meaning of life through a 12,000-mile road trip. Driving Blind. Coming soon.
Coming to America.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time, without all the BS. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Hey folks, welcome back. Short segment here. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. Sometimes I'm live, sometimes I'm not. And, hey, just going to have to take your chances. Go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. Almost for a second there, I was almost sounded like Jack Nicholson, you know. Anyway, terrible impersonation, I know, so I'll quit. Anyway, what's going on in the news today? Shall we take a gander at that? Gay designers Dolce & Gabbana came out against gay marriage and parenting. I read the article, by the way. It's really interesting, the comments that I made. A friend of mine who is all for gay rights, and I'm okay with it. I got gay family and friends, and they're fine. They know where I stand. I know where they stand, and we're happy, and I still buy them lunch. It's cool. My friend said it's their right to say that, and my friend says, not sure why their opinion should matter to me. Interesting take on that. And I'm interested in only one thing in this Supreme Court decision a couple of weeks ago that said gays can get married, same-sex couples can get married and have the same rights as married people across the United States. I'm interested only in this fact that here we are in a country of freedom and liberty and baseball apple pie and all that good stuff, right? When did, and I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying and asking this question. When did we all of a sudden say and decide and support the decision for two people of the same sex to get married when, here's my question, years ago, people were saying no? Here, let me give you an example. Go look this statistic up. It's out there. It's public record, so you can go look this up. 1999, the United States Supreme Court banned all gay marriage. 1999. Maybe there was one or two states that really allowed it, but very few, obviously. 2005, only a third of the country accepted and recognized, the states themselves recognized gay marriage. 2015, it's okay now. When did we go from it not being okay to it being okay? And was that part and parcel of the ideologies of the liberal agenda? This is something that really has to be taken a look at, because this is something that really has to be understood. Why did something that was so bad and everybody was against it become acceptable? Hey, to you Christians out there, I got something to say, but I'm going to ask you this question. When do you shake hands with the devil? Just asking. I look at it this way. Here's my own personal view on this Supreme Court decision. One, I don't agree with it. But on that note, because I have friends and family who are gay, who are, probably, I don't know, I don't talk to them much. I'm assuming they're going to be in a same-sex relationship at some point. Does that bother me? No. Not at all. Does it matter to me? Does it affect my life in such a way to where it should matter to me? No, not at all. I disagree with the Supreme Court's decision because They legislated from the bench, which is highly illegal and unconstitutional. The only people that should be making law and passing laws and bills into law is Congress, period. Done. The Supreme Court should never, ever, 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 ever engage in any type of political, I use that word strongly, implementation of any law that they are only supposed to interpret for the betterment of society. Period. They should not legislate from the bench. At all. Ever. They do because you and I have allowed it. A presidential candidate for 2016, I forget who it was. I don't want to mention any names because I don't know. I forgot. Said that once he becomes president, he'll abolish the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I happen to agree with that to a point. I disagree with it overall, but to a point, I can agree with that. Because the only ones that should be in judgment of people and of laws and interpreting those laws, etc., are the state courts. Okay? Well, what if it gets to a hung jury or whatever? What if it never transpires into the adequate finding and verdict that people want? Well, they're just going to have to suck it up and get thicker skin. That's all. I disagree with the fact that the Supreme Court of the United States should be abolished because of that very issue. Okay? I know that sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? Let the state courts make judgment, but not law. If those judgments and verdicts are not what the people wanted or what the participants in whatever case is brought before them, if they don't get their way, take it to the Supreme Court. Okay, I'm fine with it. Overall, I don't want the Supreme Court of the United States abolished. But I also believe that the states themselves should be the courts of that state and therefore, have the final say. Okay? So, anyway, bottom of the hour coming up here in about a minute and a half. I'm going to go away. Go to a break, come back, short segment, get into some more news, because there's news that we really have to talk about, and things have made the news over the weekend, so we have to discuss those things, such as confirmed secret U.S. bases in Somalia, U.S. boots on the ground. That's by thenewamerican.com, and a lot of other stories on American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. Go check that out. And folks, remember this. Your opinion matters. Okay? Whether somebody wants to accept it or not, that's completely up to you. Or that's completely up to the other person. You have an opinion. The other person decides whether it's important to them. Okay? I'm fine with that. Are you? AmericanLibertyRadio.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com is the email address. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Email me. I want to hear from you. I want to know what's going on in your neck of the woods. So email me. Let me know what's happening. So I'll be back right after this. Don't go away. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. The reality underneath the honesty. Listen to Brian Lang over at Live Truth Radio. Go to livetruthradio.com for more information. What we see is not reality. It is distorted reality. Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. The only choice for all your independent hits on the internet. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Go to RadioRockTheBlitz.blogspot.com. Hey folks, how you doing? Short segment here. Longer one coming up in just a few. Okay, folks, let's get into this news report from thenewamerican.com. This is confirmed as of yesterday. Secret U.S. bases in Somalia, U.S. boots on the ground. United States has reported military presence in at least 150 countries. Indeed, it could be said that the sun never sets on the American empire. Some outposts of that empire are supposed to keep a secret, however, supposed to be kept secret. See, people know where these bases are, folks. Don't underestimate people's intelligence. They'll find this out. Some outposts of that empire are supposed to be kept secret, however, as they are operating in countries placed off limits by treaty or by U.S. law. Somalia is such a place, but that hasn't stopped the U.S. Defense Department from setting up bases and deploying troops in that country. In an exclusive report, Foreign Policy exposed an expansing, love that word, military presence, an expanding, I should say, military presence in a war-torn East Africa nation, a presence that is paying dividends to those that have to sign off on the operations. In other words, you sign off on it, and the military contractors make billions of dollars a year. Quote, but the shadowy U.S. presence in this strategic port city, Kismayo, in war-torn southern Somalia, has clear consequences for anyone with a share of power here. That includes Somali regional officials who are quick to praise American counterterrorism themselves, who are increasingly hemmed in by a lethal combination of AU-led counterinsurgency airstrikes and raids by the U.S. special operators, unquote, the July 2nd article claims. Okay? So that's on American Liberty Radio Network Facebook page. And the thing that really has got me, well, fuming is the fact that you people out there in the United States, the citizens that say you're liberal, that, oh, you know, it's okay, whatever, you're liberal, okay? And I'm going to say this, I don't give a crap if you're in the middle and you think you're more conservative than everybody else, than all your other liberal friends. Let me make this statement right here, and I'm going to identify you for exactly what you are. You're fascist. That's what you are. Oh, don't tell me, oh, I'm in the middle, I'm nowhere near there, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Don't even go there. I will give you the benefit of this doubt, and that is, I doubt very seriously you believe everything on the liberal side of your politics. Okay? I doubt that you believe all of it. My personal feeling is I understand liberals. I know I've sat down and broke bread with them, as I said. I sat there and listened to their ramblings of their ignorance of everything going on, and guess what? Yeah. I doubt very seriously that you believe everything that you're told and that you understand and that you hold to be so dear to your liberal ideologies. Okay? So I'm going to say that the people that say they're in the middle actually believe they're in the middle, except for one shining example of their ignorance, and that is they still vote and side with liberal causes. Okay? It's incredibly odd to me that they would even sit there and claim they're in the middle when they side with these abhorrent liberal policies of this hugely Marxist regime that we have in America right now. It's just odd to me. I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys have to make up your own mind as to how you want things to be, but you have to take into consideration the fact that other people are going to counter that. Oh, that's true on both sides of the aisle. None of us are immune from opposition. Everybody's going to have their say. Everybody's going to have their due in court. Everybody's going to have their due in the court of public opinion. It doesn't really matter because everybody's going to be opposed to something. And liberals happen to be opposed to freedom, liberty, security, and peace in this country. Oh, don't say that. Well, what about the ones that are in the middle? I just gave you the information on that. I mean, think about this. Think about this, folks. Even Hitler had told his people that, the citizens of Germany, that they were free to do whatever. And what was the first thing he did? Have people register their weapons for the quote-unquote war effort. How'd that work out for him? Not very well, apparently. What are people doing in the United States of America? They're registering their weapons and they're carrying concealed permits. They're carrying permits to carry concealed. Excuse me. Did you not understand what part of the Second Amendment that you are... Did you not understand that part of the Second Amendment where it says shall not be infringed? Can you translate that into, I have a Second Amendment right to carry my weapon. I don't need to be licensed for it. And I don't need permission from these groups of liberals in my state to tell me I have to be. Did you not get the clue the first time? Or the second time? Or the third time? What are you talking about? I'll tell you, China, Russia, Venezuela, all these other countries that seem to have a tenuous relationship with us do not allow their citizens to have personal weapons for personal protection. Mexico is a country for one. And the others I mentioned, Canada is the same way. You understand what's happening here, folks? Holy crap. Can you not wrap your mind around the insanity coming out of Washington, D.C. at this moment? Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Okay? I'm just laying it out there for you. You guys figure it out. You guys look this stuff up. I hope I encourage you to do that. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, even if you disagree with me, please let me know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. I'm going to go to break. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Hey, this is Frank Hannon. I want to tell you about an exciting brand new rock and roll album coming out this year by guitarist Greg Golden. Greg Golden's new album is some old school sounding rock and roll music that's sure to be a classic, featuring some killer songs, blazing guitar solos, and awesome lead vocals by Jeff Sandoval and Randy Scholes from Montrose.
Far away, so far away, my peace inside the winds play.
Take a listen to some of these songs on this album.
Old school rock and roll, got the music in my soul. Old school rock and roll, everybody gonna lose control. Maybe crazy, but I ain't no fool. I live my life by the golden rule from the old school. Yeah, of rock and roll. Woo! Won't see it coming, but it's coming fast. That girl just does what she please, like a bad winner, baby. Cool on in and take you down. A bad winner, baby. No safe haven where she's found. Turn on the radio. Just time to make the show. Get on your dancing shoes. They're getting rave reviews. No other place to go. We're going back to Reno. Burning hearts, tears, and flames in the rain. Burning hearts, tears, and flames in the rain.
Be sure to check out the new Greg Golden album coming out on Red Hawk Records this year. www.greggoldenband.com.
Hey folks, how you doing? I'm back. Welcome back. AmericanLibertyRadio.com, American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. Hey, you can also Twitter me, you twits, at RealWSPierce. That's on Twitter, at RealWSPierce. There you go. I do the Twitter thing. Also, I'm on Minds.com, MINDS.com, American Liberty Radio Network. Anyway, I want to direct this next statement to a group of people that I have spent time with, other than the liberals. And I want to direct this next statement to this group of people. Now, I know that's redundant. I'm sorry. And I'm going to say this to all my Christian friends. I love you. You are fantastic. I've spent time with you. I've talked with you. We obviously have disagreements. That's okay. We can disagree. That's fine. You just want to contradict me, you're going to have to prove yourself right. But we can disagree. It's okay. My statement is this to all you Christians out there. First of all, this is only a Christian nation in name only because you guys say it was. It's not, okay? I'm just putting it out there. You show me the person and show me the documents in history that showed a person coming and planting a flag on this continent's soil and saying, I am declaring this continent in the name of God. You show me that, then I'll believe you. But I know there isn't because I've done my research. So anyway, I'm going to say this to Christians. Also, let me add this as well. If you guys want to debate me, you can. It's okay. I don't mind. Hey, we can sit down, have lunch, whatever. No big deal. Okay, I'm just saying. Just putting it out there. All right? Just laying it out there. Because, I say that because a lot of Christians say, well, you're wrong. Really? But they have no proof to back it up. So anyway, let me tell you. Let me go here. So on my Facebook page. And I said, I don't know who is wanting socialism more. For many years, I have attended various churches and was a member of 2 different churches in Stockton, California. I was caught up in the emotional fervor of for most of those years until I snapped out of it. I realized that the ones claiming to be tolerant really weren't. I make no apologies for what I'm about to say, so hang on, it's going to get a little bumpy. Christians, you are not going to Christianize the world. You're acting much like the Islamic jihadists. They want to kill everyone who doesn't believe their way, and in contrast, you want everyone to believe your God as well. Doesn't that seem a little strange? It'll never happen from either side. The ideologies are based entirely upon ego, the words written thousands of years ago, which are the basis of the Christian religion. The Islamic religion is only a few hundred years old. Both have been mistranslated and misinterpreted for a long time. Neither will rule the world. The whole system of nonprofit churches in the 20th century was created and funded by the Rockefeller Foundation. Yes, it's true. It's historical fact. Why? Because they wanted to corral the people in one place or places and take from them to give tribute where it was due, their corporate bosses. For more information about that, you may want to read the posts by Nick Tucker or Robert Bruce. Nick Tucker at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. And go look up Robert Bruce and listen to his program Waking Up the Masses at wakingupthemasses.com or truthfrequencyradio.com. Continuing, again, it is vitally important for everyone to read and research everything they can get their hands on and only believe what they handle themselves. Sure, there's a lot of the misinformation out there, but it takes work to find the truth, the facts, and to bring that to light. I know. I've done this since Jimmy Carter was president. So there you go. That's my statement to the Christians. It seems to me that most Christians that I know who call themselves Christians and claim tolerance have absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea as to how this whole nonprofit situation was formed for the churches. They don't. They don't. I was talking to a friend of mine over at one of the big churches in Stockton, California. I won't tell you which one it was. There's one prominent one that stands out amongst the whole city. And one of many, actually. And I was talking to my friend, and he introduced me to an associate pastor of the church. Him and I talked, had a great conversation. I really appreciated the information. I went back, and I was going to church at the time. I went back to the church I was going to, that I was attending, and talked to another person there about what my friend was telling me. And guess what? This person happened to know the pastor of the church my friend was attending and was a member of, way across the other side of town. And the person I was talking to at the church I was attending said that the pastor of the church, of this other church across town, literally told him to his face, not weeks before, that if it wasn't for a certain doctrine of the church, he'd throw the whole thing out and start over, of the doctrine of the denomination he belonged to. He'd throw the whole thing out and start all over. In other words, what's that tell you? I know that's vague, I'm not being specific, but that's what happened, right? I spoke to the guy, okay, that knew the pastor personally. Went golfing with him, whatever. And he told me this. My friend, he told me this. Said if that pastor over there had his way, he'd dump the whole doctrine and start all over again. The doctrine of the denomination of the church itself. Okay? What's that tell you? And that's not just one incident. I've had many people from many different churches come to me and say, well, our denomination says that we should do this. Well, what about you personally? In the last longer than that, in the last 12 years, people have left Christian churches for the sole reason, or I should say for many reasons, but one of the reasons, which is mostly dominant in the reason why they left churches, is the fact that from what I've heard, churches are getting a little more political than normal. Okay, when I say political, I'm talking about the bureaucracy and all of that goes on within the denomination of the church. Okay? They can't do this, they can't do that. They can do this, but they won't do this, but they can't do that, and they have to do this, and it's like, no, wait a minute. What about just praying and worshiping to God? Why not just settling down, knocking off all this other stuff, getting rid of the denomination and going completely independent? Huh? How's that? How's that? Oh, and when you do the research on your Bible, on the King James Bible, and you look at every little last aspect of historical events that took place, yeah. You want to talk embellishment? Holy crap. No pun intended, but I mean, literally, the embellishments of the stories that are there. Archaeologists and others have gotten together and researched over a period of like 15 to 20 years, I guess it was, from what I remember, and looked at Noah, the flood, and all of that. And they went all over the world, and they're looking at every aspect of this whole thing, and guess what? They said that in that local area, the Black Sea, all that area in the Mediterranean, blah, 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 that was the only area that was able to be part of and consisted of the event of the Great Flood. This is what archaeologists and scientists have said. That was the only spot in that area. Not the rest of the world. That was one aspect I heard. And then I heard other people here in the United States as well, other scientists and archaeologists and anthropologists, getting together and looking at information that was brought to them concerning the mountaintops here in the United States, or the mountain ranges, I should say, and people finding seashells, finding, fossils of, creatures that are only supposed to be in the water on mountaintops thousands of feet above the water. Okay? In other words, out in your backyard, you may see a mountain that's 1,200 feet tall. You may find some artifacts up there that should be in the sea, in the Pacific Ocean, miles away. So, who knows? Who knows? And if it is the concept of one day is, one day for God is, one day is 1,000 years for God, and 1,000 year, whatever, that kind of, remember that? I don't remember the exact thing, 1,000 days is one day for God or something. I don't know. I look at it this way. Even evolutionists find their mistakes and try to correct them in the most politically correct way. Here's my thing. The earth is said to be 4.5 billion years old. So what? Well, God created humanity in 6,000. No, he didn't. Humanity itself, as we know it, has only been around about 50 to 60,000 years. Before it was something else. I don't know. Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, I don't know. But we didn't come from monkeys, I can tell you that. My whole point of this last segment is this. I don't care what you think you know, you don't. That's the point. What you think you know about certain things, unless you dig deep down inside their ideologies and all of that, you don't know a damn thing. Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know it all, and I'm okay with that. There are certain things I could be wrong about. I'm okay with that as well. Because I don't know. But I dig. I do my research. I find it. If something seems too unbelievable, I set that aside and go back to that later. If there is a connection to it with something else I'm researching. So, yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We only know what is in front of us. We only know what we research. We only know what we can tangibly hold on to and say, yes, this is it. But did you do your research diligently, deeply? Did you find the information where it originally came from? No? Well, I think you better keep on digging. Seriously. Guys, it's always fun to come to you and to talk to you in these podcasts and on the live show. Hey, speaking of the live show, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, American Liberty Radio Live. Check it out. And I really want to emphasize this. Please do your research. Please do your research. I do. I mean, why not? I see a headline, I'm going, ooh, that's interesting. Let's check that one out, shall we? I dig, and I find out where it came from, who it came from, whatever. I find it out. So, please do your research. In the meantime, folks, I've got an audio blog being prepared as we speak in my head, obviously, because I'll record it later. It's only about 15 minutes long, so check it out at AmericanLibertyRadio.com at ALR audio blog on there. Click on the link, you'll go right to it. And yeah, folks, it's always great. And I want you to let me know what is your point of view? I want to know. What is your point of view, please? Let me know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. If you want to know more, please just ask. I'm more than happy to tell you. I don't have a problem with that. What else? Yeah, go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. Check things out there as well. I post a lot there, as you can see, so check it out. Again, folks, AmericanLibertyRadio.com is the website. And if you want to talk to me and email me, it is AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. And always remember, liberty is the road and freedom is the goal.